What's up everyone, thanks for joining. I'm going to do a quick recap of today's trade, but before we do that, let me just give you a quick intro about myself and when I started trading, etc. So I'm a software engineer, that's my profession, and I started looking into day trading June of 2024. That's when I started searching online and looking at different courses, and I started actually taking this really seriously. So that's when I came across Warrior Trading. So I spent the following 6 months or so learning, going through the courses, trading in the simulator. But one of the mistakes I did make was that I really wanted to get my hands on actual trading and get away from the simulator. So that put me in a position where I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know how to manage my risk, and I was still learning, and I was getting all emotionally worked up. So it's been a very tough, long learning curve for me, to the point where I lost a bit of money. I mean, I can go into that in some other episodes. And I've put myself in a position where I had no other choice but to reduce size, and I think it was the right thing to do, and I went back to the drawing board and started trading smaller and smaller size. And now I've got to the point where I'm not even looking at my P&L in a sense of how much I'm making on a daily basis. I'm only looking at good quality trades, and I'm just focusing on my stats. So stats is something else that I will cover perhaps in another episode, but these are daily recaps. I'm just trying to get momentum with these videos and just to build a bit of a community in order to support and learn from each other. So I'm going to break down today's trade and go through my decision making and why I decided to take that trade. It was a lot quieter today than yesterday to begin with, and before 7 o'clock this morning. I normally start at 6 o'clock in the morning, so there was not a lot happening on the scanners. And yesterday, as some of you may know, Octo or OCTO made an amazing move. It was like 3,000 to 4,000% move. It went from trading at $1.50 the day before to almost $82. It's just insane. I managed to capture a small, tiny portion of that move, but I'm happy. It was a green day. I'm building my stats, and what I've learned over the past year is that a missed opportunity is only a missed opportunity until the next opportunity comes along. So I don't get hung up on missing out on these big moves, and I don't get hung up on, wow, that stock, I should have held, because that's not how you do things in day trading, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's the mentality that you got to come into this market with, is that you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whether, if you're buying now, it's going to go up or down. There's always a 50% chance of it not doing exactly what you wanted it to do. So all we try to do on a daily basis is to rely on the edge that we've been building on and working on, in order to give us a leg up or a heads up, and maybe put the odds in our favor. And if you stay consistent enough over long term, then you should hopefully become profitable. And that's what I've realized, and I hope you don't make the same mistakes that I have. And I'm not profitable at the moment just yet, but I'm building my stats. And a part of the reason I'm doing these YouTube videos is to document that and hold myself accountable, and also maybe get support from the wider community, because there's so many communities out there. Some of them are scammers and some of them aren't, and if you're lucky enough to find the ones that are actually honest and they're not trying to sell you anything, then you can learn a lot from them. All right, let's get stuck in and look at this trade and break this down and see why I've taken these trades. All right, I've taken a screenshot of my trade. It's hiding just behind my head here, so I thought I'd make it slightly bigger for the sake of this presentation. So as you can see, the trade lasted 26 seconds, if that. So I got in at 7:03:25, and I got in at 7:03:01, and I got in at 7:03:25. So actually less than 25 seconds, so 24 seconds. Got in at 5.93 and sold at 6.31. It did go up higher. I think it hit a high of 6.90. Took 20 shares and sold 20 shares. And that gave me a grand total of $7.90. And as you can appreciate here, you can scale that, right? So I made $7 $7.60. So that if I'd taken a $2,000 position, that $7.60 would have been $760. So you can see why focusing on P&L alone, it's not enough. You need to work on your strategy, and then scaling then comes in next, and then that's when you start really taking in the profits. All right, let's have a look at this trade. I'm going to maximize this so we can see what's happening here. So I sat down at 6. Well, I turned the scanners on and turned my laptop on, and nothing was happening. And everything that actually was coming on the scanners was either high float, or it was just too cheap, or didn't really have much of a catalyst. To be honest, this stock Zone, Z-O-N-E, didn't really have much of a strong catalyst either. I wouldn't say this is an A quality setup, but in the lack of anything else to trade at the time I sat down, given that I'm still working every day full time, so I don't want this to be affecting my my work that I do on a daily basis. I tend to do this on my break or my lunchtime, and that's it. I allocate a certain time, and so because there wasn't anything trading, nothing else was coming up on the scanners, and I wanted to shut it down and focus on my work after my break. I saw this opportunity and I thought, you know what, it's worth a stab given how strong it's been. So I got in at, what was it? Let's have a look at the trades again, one moment. I got in at 703. So let's have a look at that. So I was watching this candle here, which was on a 5-minute chart, as you can see, had a nice strong volume coming in, broke through the VWAP, which is quite often a resistance. It acts as a resistance if the prices blow it, and then it closed almost a topping tail, but it closed green. And as this candle was being formed on the 1-minute chart, I was keeping an eye on it, and my thinking was that the high of this was 608. If I could get in, and maybe if I could break this 603, then it might give us a move up to the upside, given that the MACD was opening up and it was just right before the 7 o'clock, where before most retail traders come online. So I presume that we'll get a surge of activity. That's typically been the behavior that I've noticed. So I decided to take a starter, or not a starter, decided to take my $20 position, 20 share position at 6, what time was it again? Sorry. You can tell I'm nervous. I'm speaking on the camera, so I'm trying to remember things. So I took a position at 703 here, right at this candle. So I thought I'd take a position at high of this 1-minute candle here, which was at 597. I got in at, I should have not closed that screenshot down because now I keep going back to it. I got in at 593. So what was the high of this candle? 597. So I saw the green coming in on the tape, which is on the platform that I'm using, the Dash Trader, and I saw that volume was coming in. I was confident enough to take that position. Again, I went in with my fingers hovering on the sell button because I was like, you know, if it doesn't work, I want to get out quickly. I don't want to give it too much wiggle room here because, as I said, it's not an A quality setup. The news wasn't strong enough. The sector is not the sector that I normally like to trade in, which is pharmaceutical. So this sector for this zone is industrial goods, whatever that means. And the news was released yesterday afternoon at after hours, so 4:43. So it wasn't anything strong. I just took this on face value, and it was a technical setup. I thought I'd give it a go. So yeah, it worked out really nicely because I took that position at 593. Then it surged all the way up to the high of 665, even continued up further. But I gave it a bit of time, and I took took it off the table at 631. I could have probably held on to it. It's something I need to work on a bit more in terms of holding my winners longer. But what has been happening with the market, especially over the past couple of months, you'll get a spike and then suddenly everything just dumps. So I wanted to lock that profit in, and I'd hit my 25 cents target, and it's been great. As I said, it's been really, really slow, and I just didn't want to risk it. I just wanted to take it off the table. Of course, if I've got a bigger position, let's say if I was to take a 2,000 shares on this, I would have perhaps sold half at 631 and then held the rest. And then that would have given me another opportunity to see what the rest of the shares would do. So I could have probably locked in, with 2,000 shares, I could have probably locked in close to $1,000 on this single trade. But that's how quickly you could technically make $750 or $7.50 in my case in less than 25 seconds. But yeah, that was it. That was my trade for the day. I hope you found that useful. I'll try to go into more detail in my other trades, but I'll do reviews on my red days as well. But because now I'm publishing these videos, I feel like consciously I'm making more of a decision as to which positions I'm taking, what trades I'm taking, because I know I'll be presenting this later on and I'll be holding myself accountable to it. So I'm not going to take trades out of boredom, out of emotion or formal. So hopefully by holding myself accountable, my trade qualities will go up, and together we'll see how I progress over the next few months in terms of my share sizes and my overall stats. And I think what I'll do is at the end of the month, I'll do a recap of my stats, see what my percentage wins are, where I stand, and then whether I want to increase that 20 shares to maybe 40, 50. At the moment, I'm trading risking 1% of my account. So that's the way I'm putting it, because it makes me feel comfortable. I don't feel nervous. That I can hold the position perhaps a bit longer. And my account size is about $450. I am with an offshore broker, which gives me leverage. So yeah, keeping things tight, and hopefully we'll see how it goes and what this month has got in stock for us. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate the support. I'm new to this, so give me some feedback. But otherwise, hopefully as I make more of these videos, the qualities will get better, and we'll find some more engaging topics to talk about. But yeah, I really appreciate the support, and stay green.